and welcome back to AutoNerd. I'm Andrew Sardone, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most dangerous moments in the entire sales process, the close. Now, when I say closing time, I'm not talking about bar neon signs that say last call on them. I'm talking about this fragile moment where the customer has to decide whether they trust you enough to move forward or whether they want to back away and run like you just showed them some sort of timeshare. The point is here is we're building up trust. We're building up all those yeses. We're building up all those bridges to get to this magical moment where the customer buys a car that they desire and you make a commission that you rightfully deserve. Because here's the truth, most sales consultants don't lose the deal in the beginning. They lose the deal at the end. And they lose them because they're treating the close like it's some sort of event instead of what it really is. In continuation of profit building trust. Let me take you back to one of the first years in the business. I had this customer, everything was perfect. And this was going to go down perfectly for everybody. Everybody's going to be happy. They were going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy. I had a rapport built with this individual. We landed on the vehicle. The trade was on point, and I didn't have to go back and forth a billion times. And then when it came down to closing, it was as though I transformed into some other different person at this point in time. My voice tightened up. I pulled out my big dramatic closing line and watched the customer physically back up from the desk and start to give me excuses as to why they didn't want to buy the car. It was as though they walked into a room that they were just invited to, and it ended up being a pyramid scheme pitch. You just don't want to be there. So, long story short, they left, gone. All that work that I did with them absolutely evaporated. I treated closing like it was a wrestling match instead of a conversation. It wasn't fair to them, and it surely wasn't fair to me or my bank account. The moment taught me something painful but incredibly important, that the close is never the climax. It's just the confirmation. Here's the mindset shift. Closing is not about sealing a deal. Closing is about showing the customer that everything that they've been telling you to this point is finally lining up. Think of it as a chain reaction. You gather all those micro yeses that we talked about in the past two episodes. Yes, that is what the exact vehicle that I need. Yes, this solves my problem. Yes, this even fits my budget. Holy cow, because we talked about budget in the beginning. And then the close, you're not asking them to leap into the unknown. All those yeses have built up to the customer being comfortable with what is about to happen here. You're simply helping them connect all those yeses to one confident decision in the end because you've confirmed everything along the way. But it begs the question, where do most sales consultants screw this up? We screw this up usually when we get excited, we start to rush at the end when we just feel that this close is going down. And then we shift our tone and our conversation goes from conversational to pushy and then from empathetic to transactional. The customer feels this happen immediately. They go from the purchaser to the product. And when that trust starts to crack even a little bit, the close starts to rapidly collapse. So, what brings this on? Why do customers shut down at this point? It's when they sense desperation. Nobody likes sensing this kind of insecurity. It's when your words stop being about them because you've been empathetic this whole time, but all of a sudden you switch to a tone that makes it sound like it's about you now. That's not a good way to go about the close. Let's talk about what it sounds like to close with trust instead of pressure. Instead of saying something along the lines of, if I could get you in the car today, would you buy it? This feels like a trap. It just give something else a try. How about this one? How does this feel compared to what you told me you were looking for? Or is this the car that you'd feel confident parking in your driveway tonight? Or does this solve the problems you mentioned earlier about space and comfort? You notice how they're not ultimatums, they're actually confirmations. And this is us holding the mirror back at the customer at this point. They've given us all this information along the way about what they'd be needing. We've confirmed it all the way up to this point. Now we're changing the wording of not, hey, give me something. Well, I want to make sure this is right for you. Up to now, I know it's right for you. We got to keep that drive for desire very high. And this is one of the ways to go ahead and do that. Here's another tool for your toolkit. Use because and so that. This is going to help move the conversation along quite a bit for you. Check it out. I'm recommending this package because it matches the safety features you told me that were important to you. We'll go over the numbers slowly so that you can see how everything fits your budget. This little shift, it changes the customer's perception. It's not going in and, hey, let's look at the numbers and see what we can do. That's saying, hey, let me see how much of my paycheck that I can give you. You don't want to pay for the customer to drive away in your car. This is retaining money at this point. We've confirmed it, lots of yeses. We are now at the end of this. So when it comes to this particular package, I'm recommended it because of this. You told me these were important to you, correct? Yes, perfect. Come on in. Or get those numbers aligned. Make sure it fits your budget. Need to make sure that when it comes down to it, I care and I'm showing that to you. So here's the big idea I want you to take from all of this. The close is never something you do to a customer. It's something you do with them. If you've been consistent, empathetic, and trustworthy all the way through, the close is simply just this final piece of proof that you've been listening the whole time to what's actually meaningful from the customer. So practice closes that sound like confirmations, not interrogations. Slow down. Match the customer's pace. Let them feel that your confidence is grounded and not desperate. Because in the end, closing time isn't about forcing a decision out of the customer. It's about giving the customer the confidence to make the decision they already wanted to make in the first place. But as soon as you open your mouth, now here comes the money off the table. The point is get the customer to confirm, yes, this is the perfect car. And yes, I'm aligned with you. Yes, we're putting this in the driveway. Done. Payday. And that's episode 54 today, everybody. Yes, very short one this week. Again, I wanted to break this topic up into three separate podcasts just to make sure that each one got the right conversation. But when it comes to closing, remember this moment. It's not about pressuring the customer. It's proving to them that you have aligned with them throughout the whole process, allowing them to be more comfortable when they're spending the money and giving you a bigger paycheck. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the newsletter. The newsletter went live a few weeks back. If you haven't been there, that's AutoKnerd.com, AutoKnerd.com. And you'll receive every Thursday, I send out the new podcast. Sometimes you get it on Wednesday, so you get the podcast a little bit earlier than everybody else. Saturday, I will also send out a tool first thing in the morning. I call it the Saturday Dispatch, a little positive affirmation to let you know that, hey, you're doing the right thing. Get out there and just be awesome at what you do. In addition to that, I also will drop a free tool every single week. Yes, brand new free tool every week. This week, it's the Trust First Closing Cue Card that will help you not fumble the last 5 minutes of that deal. If you're brand new to the business, all those tools will help you out. And I have a really big series of tools that I'll be dropping very soon. Again, all free. So head on over to AutoKnerd.com, sign up for that newsletter, and you'll, again, get that podcast every Thursday and a bunch of tools on Saturdays. So until next time, I'm Andrew Sardone. Go out there, build that trust, spread that kindness, spread that caring, because in the end, that's what kills anxiety and closes deals and gets the big commissions. I'll talk to you later. Bye.